Alright, we got two different longevity products here that we're going to open up today. And I'm going to take both of these, just like I did in my video for the ForceCut 40D. I'm going to open up both these units and let you guys see what's inside, see what makes them tick. I happen to be using a CRKT CK Dragon for the unboxing today. A little overkill, but it's alright. I've got some notes here since I'm dealing with two. We'll go ahead and read off the notes and make sure that I get everything right for you. Here's the 42i. This is the plasma cutter. This is pretty much Longevity's flagship plasma cutter. There is a larger unit, but this is the nice one, really nice. This right here, the Migweld 140. It is a very nice MIG welder, period, point blank. There are all kinds of MIG welders that are in direct competition with this guy. You know, you can go all over the place. Everybody's got a MIG welder, 140 amp, 110 volt MIG welder. Longevity's looks very similar to a lot of them. You know, a lot of these companies will use the same chassis, but that's fine. It helps keep costs down. I'm all right with that. This guy runs a Tweco torch, which I really like. That's a good thing, because having a Tweco means, first of all, you got the name. Tweco's good stuff, and it is widely available. It uses widely available consumables. No skimping there. The things that it comes with a little welding hood. If you've got some extra consumables in here, I've never once even bothered putting one of these little welding hoods together. It's the kind of shield that you hold up in front of your face while you weld. If you don't have anything, it's a good thing to have. You've got your gas wire for the MIG, you've got your ground wire, and if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be a 3-meter ground wire. I believe that they said it was 3 meters. I'll give you the specs on those here in a minute. Those up. And we're going to put all my MIG stuff over there. And we will set this. This is a heavy box, this Migweld one. It is claimed that this is inverter technology as well, but it is a nice, beefy unit. I ran a Firepower brand 140 amp MIG for a little while, and it couldn't hold a candle to this one on how solid it feels. Let's see. Get all the styrofoam blown off of it. Get everything out of the box so we know what all's there. Okay, so with our Migweld 140, there's the unit. It comes with extra consumables and this little face shield gas regulator, ground wire. It comes with your gas wire and your Tweco stinger. It comes with a spool of wire. It's an AWS ER70S. It's a good mild steel, just a general wire. You've got your instruction manual here, and I'm going to use the notes here and go over a few things. The sale price for this Migweld 140 is $349.99. You're going to have, I believe the shipping on this one was $50, I think is what it was. Either way, there are a couple of welders in this price range, or in this area, that are cheaper, but they are nowhere near as good. There's a big difference whenever there's some stores out there that sell very inexpensive welding equipment, very inexpensive everything. It's one thing to buy inexpensive, a sandblaster or something like that, if you're not going to do a whole lot of stuff. But even if you're not going to use your welder very often, you want to have a decent quality welder, because it is going to make you, every time that you go and use one of those low quality welders, the weld is terrible with them, and so it's going to make you, after a while, stop using it. It's just not worth wasting the money when you can have this, which I would put one of these longevity welders, any of these welders, up against any of the big welders out there any day of the week. There are some pros and cons on the different models, comparing them out. You have that in anything that you got, but you cannot beat these longevities for the price or period. 5-year warranty, parts and labor on this unit. So you've got $349.99. Contact me. We can talk about the pricing on that. That's what the website advertised sale price is. We might be able to do a little better than that. You can do flux core welding or MIG welding, which means flux core means you don't have a shield gas. It's a different kind of wire. You can weld aluminum with this if you add the spool gun. The spool gun is $120, $119.99, and it will allow you to push aluminum wire and weld aluminum. So what your specs are on this is your 110 amps. It's inverter based. Your duty cycle is 20%. So your 20% duty cycle, that's at max amperage. That's decent. I mean, that's going to let you weld everything that you need to weld. If you're at lower amperage, you're not going to have a problem at all. At all, period. It's got thermal overload protection. They're pretty much bulletproof units. You got to take care of them as you would with anything, but they're hosses. I mean, this thing is a heavy-duty machine. Wire range is 0.25 to 0.03 for your solid steel, and your flux core is 30 to 35. It weighs 40 pounds, as I've already been talking to you about. So what we'll do, we'll dispense with the notes and everything. We'll go over our gun, and I'll show you guys inside of here. With our gun, you've got, like we were saying, it's a nice Tweco style gun, good positive tactile trigger, got you hooked there, and the nozzle, nice copper nozzle, and you're running normal consumables. These can be picked up all over the place. Tractor Supply, Lord, I think that Walmart might even have some of these consumables. I think they sell a Campbell Hausfield welder, which I would not recommend, which is nothing more than a Hobart as far as I know, which I would not recommend. So either way, I think you can get consumables even there. As your wire. Now, we want to talk about your panel. You've got your voltage control here, and then your wire speed, just like any of your MIG welders. The knobs, they're a real smooth feel. They do not have detents, and it's not notchy. It's infinitely adjustable potentiometers. Really nice setup. And what we'll do here, I'll show you guys inside. One thing that's important to me that really tells me a lot about a machine is how they sound, the cooling fans and everything. Just plug it in. We're going to turn it on for the first time. And I believe that the transformer on the fluorescent light behind the camera is louder than this guy. We've got a rear to front flow, and it seems like it's a variable speed fan. So we'll go ahead and get that top off and let you guys see what it looks like underneath. Here you can see is the inside of the Migweld. Migweld 140, and everything's nice and cleanly done. You've got thermal insulation where it needs to be, nice thick transformer wires. The entire cooling unit that's right here in this area where your fan is, and I'll show you here in a second, it was all designed in together. You can see it's got a little bit of ducting right here, to where the fan is actually part of the unit that gets the hottest. All this helps to dissipate heat, and the fan, instead of being attached to the case and then whatever gets hot maybe was way over here, they actually designed the fan where it is part of the case, or part of the part that gets the hottest. And right down in here, you see right here is your fan. That's your fan right there. And now, see this right down here, that big lug there? That's a big contact point. And then you see how thick the aluminum is right there? Well, that is all part of the areas that get just super hot. And it's all designed in. It's all part of it. Now, many of your other welders, most of your other welders, they don't take as much consideration into characteristics of their welders. Right here you've got your gas in. This is a solenoid that whenever you pull the trigger, the solenoid will open and let gas flow. You got your capacitor there, your coils. This is your wiring that comes in from your switch for the spool gun or for just the regular stinger. It's all thought out nicely. It's clean. It's all put together well. You can tell by looking at everything. They run glue on all of your contact points to make sure that the vibration doesn't get to it. Nice insulation. It's a well put together unit. Yeah, I said that. Down in here, you've got in the bottom, right past your capacitor, you've got your drive motor for your spool. It's a nice beefy motor. I don't know if I'll be able to get you guys where you can see it down in there. Yeah, you can just barely see it down in there. Kind of hard to get all this stuff on camera for you, but I'm trying. Go ahead and I'll turn it and let you see the back panel. Now on that back panel you've got your breaker reset, and this is your gas in, your CO2 mix or whatever it may be. What we'll do, I'm going to plug this thing in and let's see how loud that fan is. Sorry for the jerk. Let's see how loud that fan is with the case off. I can feel it sucking the air in there. And that's what will make this machine last longer than other machines. Is the cooling system. Blows out the front. And the way it's set up is it's all one unit, and it brings that air in and goes straight through everything else that gets hot. You've got some heat sinks up here on a couple of transistors, but they're fine. They're going to be alright, because you don't have all this heat down here cooking that stuff because it's getting blown out the front. Really good way to do it. And I'll tell you something else I like. The fact that they are sucking the air in the back and blowing it out the front. You know what that means? That means that after a while of use in your shop, that means that, let me shut this off before I electrocute myself. That means that if it is blowing out of the front, that means that you're not going to have dust building up right here, where over a period of time it sucked the air in and deposited dust there. It's gonna that will be on the back, and so that's another good thing like that. Let's take a look at the handle here. The handle, it's got nice beefy hardware on it. These screws go into metal, and you can see this is steel, and the plastic is thick and sturdy, so this handle shouldn't break anytime soon either. Good stuff all the way around. Here it is with the panel off, just so you guys can see what it looks like here. Straightforward and simple. The way this is, you've got a ball bearing roller here, your spool goes in here, and the wire will come right through here, feed through this brass, and it'll go, this is what rolls, and the wire will go right across through there in between those two brass points. Once you feed it in, you'll put this down and push that up. You can adjust your tension on that wire right here through that spring, and that ball bearing squeezes against the drive pulley and will push the wire. I Loctite the hardware back on to make sure that it doesn't vibrate loose on us. And that's that, guys. If anybody would like more information on longevity products, let me know. The ForceCut 42i is going to be in a separate video, and it'll be following this one.